Hi guys, it's Katrina here. I thought I'd make a video going over Tesla, kind of going over what it has been doing, what it could do now, and then how I've been trading it lately. Also, I got a lot more followers now, so maybe this might help them out on how to read my charts, how I use my momentum indicators and my EMAs. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm currently looking at the 6-month daily chart of Tesla. I always look at the daily. I look at the close of the daily. The daily rules all to me, and especially the close of the daily. So yeah, I actually wanted to start back here. It looks like it's back in September, and kind of show you what Tesla has been doing, what and how you could have maybe traded it, or what signs to look for to see if it was going to go down more. So yeah, so starting back here in September, the very end of September, is when it had its biggest move down. The biggest part, right here I noticed is, the lower Bollinger Band starts to point down. That means, the trap door is open for downside. And that's pretty much what it did. It followed it all the way down, made a huge move down. And whenever a stock or an index, makes a huge move down, it always, back tests its 13 EMA. That's this blue line. I use the 13 EMA. And right here, it back tested it. It opened up at it and it rejected it. So it came back down. And then over here, it tested it again. And like right here, you could tell that price was trying to break upward, but it had the 13 EMA. It had this mid Bollinger Band. That's what my dashed line is. And then also it had this sharply falling upper Bollinger Band, putting pressure on it. So, back in, I guess it's October, maybe beginning of November, it couldn't break, free. It couldn't break out. This upper Bollinger Band, puts pressure on price. And, actually, if you look at this, the upper Bollinger Band's coming down, the lower Bollinger Band's coming up, that's kind of like squeezing there. I'm sure you've heard of the Bollinger Band squeeze. I never use those words because everybody thinks that it's going to squeeze upward, and that's not the case here. That's not always true. It can go down, and that's what happened here. It couldn't break out. This upper Bollinger Band was too much for it, and it lost the mid Bollinger, lost 13 EMA and the mid Bollinger Band, and went right back down. Also, I was watching this MACD here, and if you know anything about the MACD, you want the MACD, you want it to race, past this center line. You want it to cross the center line and be above it. And right here, as you can see, it started curling well below the center line. So I already knew that was bearish momentum. If you look at my stochastics here, it's turning right at the 80 line. Like, that's bearish momentum. You want it to break, the 80 line. So all of these signs, were showing me, bearishness. And if I'm correct, I think this is around the time that Elon was selling to buy Twitter, around that time. Anyways, it made a huge move down, and when something makes a huge move down, what does it have to do? It has to back test its 13 EMA, and here's where it back tested it, rejected it with an inverse hammer. Pay attention, to the candles. They can tell you, if it's possibly going to go, down or up. And this is an inverse hammer or shooting star rejection off the 13 EMA. Which is usually bearish, and it was. So I think also, whenever I was watching Tesla, I think I even, drew a little trend line in here, which it ended up breaking. I kind of knew it would break right there because of this rejection candle, the 13 EMA. And it did. It broke right here. And when it broke, this little trend line, I was, down here paying attention to the stochastics. And I think, like, if you look at this candle right around here, you can see, if you look at this candle and come all the way down to your stochastics, I could see, it crossed bearish and it was going to dip again, and I always point out about double dips, stochastics, which means, like right here, it dipped below the 20 line. And then, let me get this one. Oh, come on. And then it dipped below the 20 line again. So it dipped here and then it started to dip here. And I saw this all happening. So I knew when you have a double dip stochastics, that means a lower low is coming. So I knew this was the low around 177. So I knew it was going lower than that based off this stochastics. And it did. I think there was, we all knew like the 200 psych level broke. And then come down here, you could have put another level here at this 177, which it broke. And that put in the lower low down here, which is, the bottom of this stochastics here. So I was waiting for that lower low to come. I knew it was coming. I don't know how low it was going to go, but just lower than 177. So like right here is where it was low, it was making that lower low. But that, that's a nice red, full candle, bearish candle. Like I usually look for like green hammers, for reversal candles. So this one I did not buy on, cause that did not look like a reversal candle to me. It was this one right here, this little green hammer. Like that usually means a reversal. And then of course, I think I posted this. I posted the green hammer chart. You could, this falling wedge was like perfect too. I mean, it could have gone down a little more. It could have broke the wedge. I don't know. But it was good risk reward here. It was getting oversold. It made its lower low. It had a green hammer, like all that was like, okay, I think I'll go ahead and buy here. So, I think I bought like 168s. And, well, I got lucky. The next day it like gapped up and took off. So I caught that trade right there. I'll admit I didn't go all the way up to this 13 EMA. I could have held it to the 13 EMA. That would have been a huge move down, back tested 13 EMA. You would have got it right around here. You would have got a couple more dollars. But I had got so much profit here, I just went ahead and took it. But the next big thing is bulls would want to, like close above this 13 EMA, break it. So I was watching for that too, because it can easily, as it has up here, it made a huge move down, back tested the 13 EMA, rejected it here. Down here, made a huge move down, back tested the 13 EMA, rejected it. So it rejected it here. So I was kind of waiting, for this. And then I think around this time is when we were going into Powell. Here's Powell's speech. So I was a little, I was all cash going to that because I didn't know if he was going to be, bullish or bearish, and I didn't want to take the chance. So I kind of, held out around here. Was waiting to see about Powell's speech. But like if you look at this candle, like if you look at the stochastics on that candle, like I always draw like this, this 50 line, like this bottom blue line's 20, the top blue line's 80, and then the middle line I will draw myself, which is 50 line. It's kind of like 50%, in the middle of this, 20 and 80. And a lot of times over here, if you look, Tesla kind of held that area, held it a couple times. So I was waiting to see if this 50 line would hold it again, and it would, go right back down. And it probably would have if Powell would have been bearish, but he wasn't. So but it looked like right here, I was like, okay, I think I even posted it could, if it holds this, like that's bearish momentum, but it didn't. Powell, was not even bullish or bearish, but he was dovish. That's the right word. He was dovish. Anyways, as soon as I saw like, the first, I think I posted, like the first the second 5-minute candle of his speech, I went long on, and I bought a bunch of Tesla, so I did real well that day. Because I held it the whole time. But anyways, but I also knew that there's, look at this falling upper, sharply falling upper Bollinger Band. Like, that's going to put pressure on price again. I knew that, I saw that, and I knew that, so I took profit. Now it could go a little higher. Like, there's still room for it to go higher, but it's got this upper Bollinger Band in its way before it can, get up to this 50 EMA. So I mean, also this 13 EMA it's trying to bullish cross this mid Bollinger Band, but it hasn't yet. It can't, because you got this sharply falling upper Bollinger Band putting pressure on it, kind of like what it did up here. Like, look at the 13 EMA. It crossed the mid Bollinger Band, which is a bull cross, but because of that that upper Bollinger Band putting pressure on price, it muted the bull cross. Like, it didn't allow it to like break out like usually. So that's what I'm watching for right now. Like, I mean, Tesla, maybe the markets are strong enough this week for it to reverse this upper Bollinger Band, for price to, at least make it up to this 50. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I think there's also a, you could draw a little trend line here. You got 3 candles. The trend line is for 3 candles. Get rid of this one. There's a trend line, like it could break above this. I'm sure this upper Bollinger Band will come down a little further. So maybe around, 201, 202s. I mean, I guess we'll see. I don't know. It could start going down tomorrow, or it could break up. I don't know which way, but I'm kind of watching it. I'm wanting to see what happens here. I don't know if this will happen again back in, the end of October or not, or if it will finally be able to reverse, the upper Bollinger Band to go higher. But, this actually shows bearish divergence, this line right here, top of the candles going down. And then, if you put the line in your momentum indicator, let me see. This is this is a little higher side, and look, it's like lower here, higher here. That is bearish divergence, but it's got to play out. Like this still hasn't turned yet. Now, if this were to turn, like that'd totally be bearish divergence. But it could go further up, but that's still showing some bearish divergence. But it doesn't mean it's playing out. But I'm watching it. You gotta watch that stuff. Also, the stochastics broke the 80 line. Like over here, it didn't really break the 80 line. It like stopped at it. So I'm watching that. If that starts to turn over, like that's bearish momentum. That means price will probably roll back over. But I don't know. We'll see. I want to get back in it. I'd like it lower. I'd like it to go up a little, come back down. Make a higher like low over here, and if it did, that would have kind of put in a almost a what's that called, what am I trying to do, sorry, that would put in a like inverse head and shoulders, if it could do like a like low over here or something. Ugh. I'm not doing a very good job, sorry. Like over here, that maybe the neckline could be over here, something. I'd have to find the neckline, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. I just want to kind of go over my charts, go over Tesla, because it's got some good stuff. It shows you how it made big moves down, back tested 13 EMA, shows you that the sharply falling upper Bollinger Band, how it puts pressure on price. Shows you how a Bollinger Band squeeze doesn't mean it's gonna go, north. It can go south. I showed you that falling wedge. I showed you the double dip stochastics. How the bullish bull cross can get muted. I don't know. So I just thought I'd show Tesla. It shows a lot of good stuff. You can look for on a chart to help you, figure out which way price is going to go. But so yeah, I guess we'll see what it does this week. I'm hoping to get back in. I'm hoping to get back in lower, but I may not be able to. I don't know. We could have some, a rally. I don't know. But ultimately, it needs to get this upper Bollinger Band reversed upward. And Tesla could do it. It can do it, but we'll see. It could easily pull what it did back here, in October, end of October, November, beginning of November. So I hope this helps you guys out. If you have any questions, feel free to reply to my tweet. I'm going to go ahead and post this on Twitter. And also, I have more videos. If you look inside my pinned tweet, I have videos going over Bollinger Bands, going over the MACD, going over the stochastics, so feel free to, look at those videos. But thank you. Hope this helps you guys out. Bye.